Hello and welcome to the Racine and Vicinity Show 2024 tour. My name is Katelyn Mitchell and I'm the Curatorial Assistant here at the Racine Art Museum. We are here today at RAM's Wustum Museum to tour the exhibition. We did have some technical difficulties in our live virtual tour of this exhibition, so we are switching to a pre-recorded video that will be posted to our social media channels. Still feel free to leave any comments that you have about the exhibition or questions down below in the comments, and we will try our best to get back to you on those. We're going to be walking through all of the pieces that are here on display. This exhibition opened on June 12th and will run through August 10th. This exhibition is also held every 3 years, so the last one was in 2021, and it's been a while since we had Racine and Vicinity Show here at Wustum. It is open to artists from Kenosha, Racine, and Walworth County, as well as RAM members from anywhere in the country. So you'll see a lot of local artists participating in here, but we also have a few from a little bit further away who are still part of that RAM community through their membership. It is an all-media show, and as such, you'll see a lot of different pieces. There is no theme to the show, so any kind of subject matter, any kind of material, excluding like liquids and foods, things that are not art museum friendly. But you'll see paintings and sculptures and all sorts of things, and you'll see combinations of those things as well. Because it is that mixed or all media show, we see a lot of mixed media. This year we have 107 pieces by 89 artists shown, and those were picked by our juror, Deborah Bramer of Portrait Society Gallery in Milwaukee, from 321 pieces by 192 artists that submitted work. Of those pieces, she picked roughly a third of them for the exhibition, and we will be viewing each and every one of those here today. We're going to be looking at the pieces, getting some details of them, and reading the labels. I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations of names or titles, but we will show you the labels so you can get a visual clue of what we're talking about. We're going to start here in the front hallway of RAM's Wustum Museum. This space houses a lot of the smaller works in this exhibition. Mostly paintings, but you'll see some other things as we kind of work through all of the different pieces on display here today. So we're starting out over here with Jeff Logic, Prickly Perch, 2022, Scratchboard and Ink. Moving on to Lisa Bigulke, You Can't Save Everyone, 2024, Serigraph and Embroidery Floss. You can see where she's stitched that embroidery floss around the different shapes to provide some different texture or depth to the piece. Then we have Richard Burns, Coyote's Last Call, 2024, Intaglio. Next up, Mark Stewart, The Secret Spot, 2024, Oil. And then Susan Cogley, Quiet Zone, 2024, Oil. I love the texture of an oil painting, just all that different depth, and it really provides a lot of different layers to it. We're going to move to the other side of the hallway for some more works. Starting over here with Patricia Algiers, Colorful Adventure in Space, 2023, watercolor, acrylic, marker, and paper. At first I thought the different pieces were stitched onto the surface, but it looks like it might be marker marks that surround to provide that stitched texture. Then we have Wesley Fallon, Carousel Memory, 2022, digital inkjet print. Next is a still life by Heather Ernest, Pink Kitchen, 2023, acrylic. Mike Kasperzak, Girl on Steps, 2023, digital inkjet print. Missy Isily Pultrock, What's Left, 2024, ink. The intentional smudging of the ink provides such an interesting motion to this piece. Keeping with the black and white theme, we have Paul Brannock, Daffodil, 2021, silver gelatin print. All of the works in this exhibition needed to have been created since our last Racine and Vicinity show in 2021. So works are 2021 or later for this exhibition. Then we have Anna Janke, World at Rest, 2023, cliché print. Dean Habiger, Oval Theater No. 1, 2022, acrylic, casein, graphite, and paper. When we have works by the same artist in an exhibition, we try our best to make sure that they're next to each other in the galleries. However, this is not always possible. In this case, these two are right next to each other. So the second work, Dean Habiger, Oval Theater No. 2, 2022, acrylic, casein, graphite, and paper. Then we move on to a watercolor painting by Susan Town, In a Japanese Garden, 2022, watercolor. Such a serene scene. Another nature-oriented watercolor painting by Lisa K.C., Dragonfly, 2023, watercolor and acrylic. Can spot that dragonfly kind of peeking through the foliage. Then we'll be moving into the main galleries of Wustum to see some of the larger works in this exhibition and some of the sculpture. We're starting here in the first gallery of the main house of Wustum. I think a lot of the pieces in this gallery are connected through their use of fiber. There is an interesting amount of fiber in this show, and it's certainly not all in this one space, but you'll see a lot of fiber pieces as we walk through this particular gallery. So we're starting right over here by the window with some sculptural works. The work on the right is by Gail M. Willert, Sea Creature 12 from the Save the Oceans series 2023, ceramic, fabric, dye, metal, paper, plastic, thread, and found seashell. You might not get a sense of it from the video, but this sculpture is about as tall as I am, so it's a pretty sizable work. I love the texture of those different pieces coming down. It reminds me of a jellyfish. And then we'll move to the left for another larger sculpture by Autumn Horvath, Hiss, 2024, stoneware and wood. And the stoneware shape kind of leans onto this stool in a very interesting way. Moving over here, we have a piece by Anne Fall. It's titled Morning on the Nile, 2024, hand-dyed, painted, and commercial cotton fabric and cotton thread. This piece received the 3rd award in the exhibition. The awards were all selected by our juror. And what I like about this piece is you get that initial image of the birds and the foliage and the fish in the Nile, but when you zoom in and look at the stitching on this piece, it's a lot of very interesting details that make it up. You see some stars, you see some hearts, there are some beetle shapes that kind of pull back into that theme of being on the Nile. You also see some more of those flowers that are on the right side of the piece, but just in the stitching. So replicated forms, and then around the border you get this wave-like stitching that reminds me of waves, kind of gesturing to the water element here in this quilt. This piece is also the cover image of the exhibition catalog for the show. The catalog can be viewed on our website on the page for this exhibition. Another fiber work, this one is by Vicki Schmitz, Memories from My Rural Upbringing, 2021, wood, nails, thread, yarn, fabric, and burlap. And the piece is all of these woven pieces of fabric, and then they're housed within this frame that's covered in other fibers. You can see the nails at the top and bottom of the work. Then we have a piece by Britt Borcher, Cabbage Queens, Turning Heads, 2023, pastel, color pencil, and graphite. Next up, Anne Bear, Things I Might Have Done If I Wasn't So Afraid, 2022, acrylic. Then we have a ceramic piece that hangs on the wall, so kind of a sculpture. Nick Schroeder, Letter to Jasper Johns, 2023, glazed white stoneware. That target iconography is very Jasper Johns, so I like how the artist is kind of drawing reference to other artists in art history. We'll rotate over here to these pieces by Cecilia Berkey. Grandma Lives in Florida, 2024, watercolor and ink. I really enjoy her use of these monochrome rooms. So all of the blue tones in this one with the yellow kind of coming in through the window. And then you kind of see the inverse of this with the yellow scene to the left of it. Cecilia Berkey, Grandma's Library, 2024, watercolor and ink. Next up is a piece by Kurt Emmer, Judgment/Guilt, 2023, burlap, fabric, thread, ink, safety pins, house paint, and wood. The fiber component of this piece is suspended in the wooden frame with these taut wires and metal pins that hold it in place, and it's two pieces of fabric that have been safety pinned together down the middle, but also stitched over with these connecting pieces of fabric. It's a very interesting use of framing on this one. Then we'll move right down the line to Dan Slick, Cafe Conversation, 2024, acrylic and chalk. This piece received a Merit Award. I can pick out a few different places in the painting where the artist has used that chalk to draw highlights, such as in hair or in the hands holding a camera in the upper right-hand corner of the piece. Provides a very interesting gestural approach to the painting. Then we'll move into another nook of sculpture. These pieces are set up in a way where we have two chairs and a table, all by different artists, but we thought it would be interesting to have them all here together. We'll start on the right with a piece by Michael Gerke, Chair with Crossed Legs, 2024, found chair, found pants, found shoes, and found belt. So you can see that the chair only has 3 legs, well, technically 4, but one of the chair legs is actually a person's leg, and then the 4th one is crossed on over. In the middle, we have a piece by Cynthia Woelfel, Happy Hour, 2021, wood and glass. And then finally on the left, we have a piece by Risa Dries, Save the Bees, 2024, yarn, felt, buttons, pipe cleaners, and wood. You can try to spot all of the little bee buttons that are scattered throughout. I like the ones that are here on this area over here that looks like a hat that has been kind of woven into all the different materials that are on this chair, but then the hat looks like a beehive. Then we'll be moving into another gallery. This one has some smaller scale ceramics. So starting off with some of those aforementioned smaller ceramics, and there's also a lot of larger pieces in this room. This gallery has a lot of different color going on. I look at this wall and I just see all of the red and purple tones, and then you get to the back and there's yellows and browns. In this cabinet, or this vitrine over here, we have a bunch of blue tones that remind me of the ocean. Not everything is reminiscent of the ocean, but just together as a group, it certainly does. We'll start in the upper left with Dennis Felber, Makti Tubi, 2024, Raku Fired Ceramic. Then moving down to Carly Lyons, Scorpio Seed Pot 2023, Stoneware. One of my favorite details about this piece is the use of glaze only on the top surface and not on the sides of the form. So a selective use of glazing that provides just interesting visual texture. In the back, we have Margaret Capitani, Floral Cascade 2023, Glass. And those white and yellow forms look like daisies. Then in the front, we have a piece by Jane Holland, Riverbed, 2024, glazed stoneware. And finally, Betsy Davis, Moon Jar, 2024, stoneware. So while they're all quite different pieces, I think they work together cohesively in this vitrine setup. Then we'll move into this corner where we have a piece by Gabriella Pettit, Swan Ascending, 2022 to 2023, wood, bookboard, book cloth, metal tubing, waxed cord, acrylic paint, and gold leaf. Notice the dimensionality given by these doors that open on the front of the piece. It's difficult to get too close to the piece without touching it, but you can imagine them kind of swinging open on the front of the work. So we've got one door right here and one right here. And the gold leaf really pops off of this piece. We'll move over to the next section of wall, which has this shared theme of floral paintings. So on the left, Pat Gilbert, Flower Power 2023, watercolor. And while I said paintings, this one isn't actually a painting. This is Patricia Beeson, Spring Flowers 2023, oil pastel. It shares those red and yellow colors of the work on its left. And then we have Alice Rossman, Frivolous 2024, watercolor. It's a very large scale watercolor painting, and there's a lot to take in with this one. Moving through the space, we have this piece by Christine Hinrichs, Women Walking 2024, pigment print on silk. So the photograph has been printed on silk, and it's in multiple layers that are suspended on acrylic rods. So when you view it from the front, you get the full effect of the image, but each panel of silk is a different portion of the image, and it provides that foreground, middle ground, background. Then we have Dan Simenow, Perseverance 2024, acrylic. A really interesting use of negative space above the head of this figure. It's a very tall painting. Then we have some fiber work by Joan Francis. This one is called Remake 2023, rubber and metallic thread. This piece by Joan Francis, titled Torn Beyond Repair 2024, is nylon and metal. It won the first award in this exhibition. And just think about how much skill it would take to weave pieces of metal and nylon together. The artist let me know at the reception that the nylon material is actually from parachutes. that were cut up into strips. And this is a fairly sizable work as well, so it just takes some time to like look at how close, or take some time to look closely at how detailed this weaving is. I like the areas specifically where it blends from nylon weaving into the metal strips, or the nylon that kind of cuts across the metal areas. Then we have a painting by Patrick Doman, Steering Clear, 2021, Tempera. Turning the corner to Sophia Kyoto, Grandpa Wayne, 2023, Charcoal. Another vitrine with smaller ceramics, this time in more blacks and browns, but with some pops of red. We'll start in the upper left with Laura Dawson, Falling for Birches, 2024, Glass. Moving forward to Melody Bigalki, Aloha, 2023, Hard-Shelled Gourd. So this is a carved gourd with some fun leaves on the front. I like the different uses of negative space in the neck of that vase form to kind of cut through the entire vessel. Behind that, Alex Mandley, Nebula Jar 2023, ceramic. Up front, PM Fallon, Charred Heart 2024, ceramic. And last but certainly not least, Alex Gonzalez, Amparo 2024, terracotta. We'll go back through this gallery looking at some of the sculptures that are on pedestals. So we'll start here with this one. This is Darcel Mattis, Delilah's Garden 2024, glass and wood. Moving into this moving into this larger vitrine, we have a piece by Hugo Saavedra, Summer Storm 2024, wood and metal. Into the center of the gallery, we have a piece by Bill Reed, Lip Service Station on Mute, 2023, steel and latex paint. When you're looking at this piece, you have to spot the peep, the marshmallow peep, reminiscent of our Peeps exhibition. Bill Reed completed a piece for Peeps that was also Lip Service Station themed, so I think the two of them kind of go together, but this one is a little bit larger than that. Have you found the peep yet? It's right over here on the side of the building. It's a gas pump. And then we'll move over here to these two pieces by Stafford Taylor. On the right, Post-Industrial Revolution Leavings, Racine, on the right. And this one is Iron, Concrete, and Ink. You can notice all the ink drawings on these found pieces of concrete. And then on the left, we have Post-Industrial Revolution fabric, Racine, 2024, Iron, Concrete, and Ink. And this completes the first floor. Oh wait, we got more. We got some more. I started here just kind of talking about them broadly, and that's why we're circling back. We'll start with these two. These are Diane Levesque, Experiment with Beauty #2, after Veronese's Portrait of a Man, 1551, made in 2024, acrylic and pastel. So while it's not a live tour, you still are getting most of the live experience. In the middle here, we have Diane Levesque, Fallen Snowman. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, 2024, acrylic. This piece received a Merit Award. And then completing this wall is a piece by Carissa Lee, Mestiza, 2024, gouache, watercolor, acrylic, ink, and graphite. And now we have completed the first floor of the exhibition. We'll be moving upstairs to see the rest of the galleries. We've moved upstairs, and now we're going to take a look at some pieces in this gallery. Starting against this back wall, we have two pieces by Katrina Sustacek. This first one is titled Bones, Charred, 2024, Raku-Fired Ceramic. In contrast to the coloration on these bones, we have these porcelain ones, Katrina Sustacek, Bones Procession, 2024, porcelain. Behind these pieces, we have two works by June Ambro, the first of which is titled Rock Bottom 2023 Porcelain. This piece received a Merit Award. And as you can see, the bottom of this piece is curved, so if it weren't covered like this and I could touch it, the piece does rock back and forth in place. On the other side, we have June Ambro Abstract Seascape 2023 Porcelain. Moving to the wall, we have a piece by Susan Antoinette, In Good Hands 2024, acrylic and graphite. Then we have a piece by Louis Orr, Checkpoint 2022, acrylic and paper. Next to that is Christine B. Miller, Her Words Matter, Green Tea Leaves Red, #1, 2023, ink, acrylic, graphite, colored pencil, and paper. I always spend so much time with this artist's work, taking a look at all of the different words that are incorporated into her pieces. They tell a story of what the piece is about. We'll swivel this way, taking a look at this piece by Adam Lefevre, Pink Jar 2022, Stoneware. This piece received the second award in the exhibition. As you can see, there's two by Adam Lefevre, but we'll get to the other one in just a moment. We'll take a stop here in this piece of wall space to look at Daniel Martin's eTaddy V125 2023 digital inkjet print. Back to this table for Adam Lefevre Flat Jar 2022 Stoneware. Then we have a wood relief sculpture, but also on the wall by Mark Travanti, Primus 2023, color print on canvas, plywood, and acrylic. And if you see it from the side, you can actually see that this piece is several inches thick with that wood relief sticking out from it, making it a three-dimensional work. To the left of that, we have Christine Bone, Grandma's Apron Strings, 2024 watercolor. And the woven strings of paper come together to form this image of hands clasped with an apron knot in the background. Then we have Regina Baker, That 70s Girl, 2023 watercolor. Lots of details to take in here with the way that the hair kind of makes space between it and the background around the edges, and that floral patterned blouse. We'll move across the hall to take a look at some more works. We do have 107 in this show, so there's no lack of artwork here in Racine and Vicinity Show 2024. All right, we're taking a quick stop in the hallway to look at these two works by Gerald Balland. The first is Tabletop Still Life number 1, 2024, acrylic. To the right of that, we have another piece by Gerald Balland, 4th Floor North, 2021, acrylic. And then we'll walk in this door over here, starting off with Christine Bone, Justine, 2024, acrylic and paper. And you can see the paper, the use of paper down here around the basket. It's been applied to the front of the canvas to provide a little bit more texture. Then we have Lance Reichert, Spring 2024, ink. On this pedestal, we have a piece by Maureen Fritchen, Sea Foam, The Future is Now, 2024, polyethylene foam, pet needles, and plastic. And this received a Merit Award. Then we move to two watercolors by Lisa Englander, Bataille Blanc, 2023, transparent watercolor. The artist has let me know that they used no masking fluid or frisket in creating those white areas. And also the dark tones are not black paint, but all the colors she had on her palette mixed together. So you can see those purple and gray undertones even in the really dark areas of the painting. The second piece to the left of this is Bataille Noir, 2023, transparent watercolor, Lisa Englander. We'll continue with the monochrome theme, moving down to this photograph by David Jones, Signal Crossing, 2022, archival digital inkjet print. To the left of that, we have Marilyn Prop, Shoal 1, 2024, acrylic. Another work by Marilyn Propp, Adrift, 2024, acrylic. Then we have Anna Janke, Removal of Nostalgia, 2021, graphite. You saw another work by this artist down in the front hall, but it was a photograph. And I think that's one of the interesting things about Racine and Vicinity Show is that artists are able to submit work in multiple media. And they might not even be the same media. For example, when we're looking at these Marilyn Propp paintings over here, both of them are acrylic, but you'll see artists who submitted two different works that are completely different from each other, such as a graphite drawing and a photograph. Then we have some sculpture here by Samantha Nelson. The titles pull from Greek mythology, the first of which is called Amphitrite, 2023, glazed stoneware. On the other side of this pedestal is Samantha Nelson Poseidon, 2023, glazed stoneware. I always love taking a look inside all of the different vessels. And then we'll move to this final wall over here, starting on the left. We have a piece by Wesley Fallon, De Koven Fog, 2023, De Koven, digital inkjet print. And I apologize for any mispronunciations of titles. To the right, we have Corey Potter, Sting, 2024, acrylic, found paper, found magazine pages, and glitter. Valerie Christel, Nature's Fetal Center, 2023, photo montage. Then Ted Ingesolian, Dance Around the Kitchen Floor, 2024, acrylic, ink, glaze, and paper. We're going to move back towards the back of the galleries for the last two rooms of this exhibition. This smaller gallery is grouped around the theme of the sea, nautical pieces, so I think you'll see that really come out as we take a look at some of these works. Beginning in this case, we have two works by Garrett Ford. The one in the front is Untitled 2024, Glass. And as I had mentioned, some artists are creating work in vastly different media. So we have a glass piece by Garrett Ford on that side of the case. And then on the other side, we have a piece by Garrett Ford, also untitled 2024, but glazed stoneware. We'll move over here to Penny McDonough, Hidden Treasure 2024, acrylic. Next is a watercolor painting by Bruce Bowick, Approaching Storm 2022. Very dark and moody colors in the sky. Following that theme of the seaside landscape, seascape I guess you would call it, we have Cherry Smiley, Sea Smoke at the Lighthouse 2024 digital inkjet print. And rounding out this collection of works, we have Mary Ubuntu, Grandpa's Minnesota Girl, 2024, oil, found fishing lures, found fishing hook, and wood. We'll continue straight through to here. Beginning on this wall, we have a piece by Emily Brunell, A Wedding Toast, 2024, cotton thread, dried flowers, ink, and preserved moss. So the hands and the glasses are embroidered. There is some lettering that goes around it, and then there's moss surrounding the entire piece. I really like the color palette that she used for this one. And then to the right, we have Mary Dwyer, Hot and Spicy, 2023, watercolor. A nice still life of some peppers. Moving around to an oil painting by Margaret Clark, Red Snow Night, 2023. Every time I look at this piece, I see that snow-covered car. It just parked right out front. In the middle pedestal here, a piece by Kathy Kerner, Sitting on a Bed of Toxic Waste, 2024, glazed stoneware. You can see that the box that's under this figure's feet has waste, oil spill, toxic, just some other text on it. Clean up the mess. Moving back to the wall, Jennifer Zygmunt, Dionysia, 2023 pastel. Then we have two pieces by Tim Ladwig, Alley View, 2022 watercolor. And next, Tim Ladwig, Uptowner, 2022 watercolor. Next piece we're going to look at, two of them by Vicki Reed. This first one on the left is Symmetria number 63, 2021, archival inkjet pigment print. This one received a merit award. When installing this show, our curator tried to make sure that there was an award-winning piece in each of the rooms of Wustum. So they're spread out throughout the galleries. On the right, we have Vicki Reed Symmetria number 72, 2021, archival inkjet pigment print. Then we have a piece on the wall over here by Dave Jewell, Totem, 2024, acrylic and paper. And the paper certainly has a texture to it that kind of comes off of the surface, providing just a little bit of depth. I really like the folding on this area down here underneath the section that says Special Select. Then we have Rebecca Venn, Portal 4, 2024, ink. And this painting was actually done with sticks, so using sticks to apply the ink to the paper, providing that gestural effect to the work. Then we have an acrylic painting by Delilah Johnston, Blue Moon in Reverie, 2024. And we'll end right over here in the middle of the room with this sculpture by Susan Bueller, Cicada Wingding, 2024, glazed earthenware. I love the cicada earrings that kind of dangle freely from this figural form. And the frogs at the bottom are just such a nice touch. I could spend forever looking at this exhibition. There are so many things to take in, just a nice variety of 2D and 3D work. The juror really wanted to make sure that everything was covered as this is in all media. Juried Exhibition. If you have any questions about the exhibition, feel free to leave them down in the comments below and we will get back to you on that. This exhibition will be running here at Wustum through August 10th, so don't miss your chance to come and view it. We are open Wednesdays through Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There is no admission fee here at Rams Wustum Museum. You can visit us to see this show for a few more days, and then we'll be following it up with Wisconsin Photography, which will be another great exhibition. But don't miss your chance to come and see Racine and Vicinity Show 2024. My name is Katelyn Mitchell, and I am the curatorial assistant here at the Racine Art Museum, and thank you for joining us for this tour.